leader, follow the leader, follow the leader, follow the leader, follow the leader.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Romani. Welcome back to this YouTube channel on narcissism. So let's talk a little bit about narcissistic people and pseudo-spirituality, shall we? If you're new to this channel, also please hit that subscribe button, because it's a great community and you're learning all kinds of stuff about narcissism here. Now, one way that narcissistic folks gaslight the unfortunate folks who have to interact with them is by pretending to be spiritually evolved. Drop in the comments if any of you have run into these spiritually evolved narcissists. They take a few meditation retreats, fly down to Central America, do a whole ayahuasca thing, find a guru to enable them, get into the best branded yoga class, read some Vedantic texts, dangle a few crystals in their house, and talk more slowly and quietly. And voila, they're evolved, and you are not. So when you are just trying to live your life in the real world with all of its demands and rules and ask for anything, or heaven forbid you raise your voice, you get them to say, shall we breathe? I learned in my retreat it could be your chakras. And come, join me, and let's have some matcha. Oh no. Let's talk about spiritual bypassing and where it meets enabling. My friend Janata, hey Janata, talked to me about this at dinner the other night, and I grabbed my little notepad and wrote it down right away. She was talking about this idea of people who performatively engage in the spiritual plane. They try to nail down the guru and ask for the spirituality intensive, right? And assume that enough time with the right shamanic healer or the right yoga retreat, and then they get to be fast-tracked to spiritual evolution. Then they either post about their spiritual growth on social media, or they lord it over other people. You aren't evolved, but I am, because I didn't speak or look at my phone for a whole week and I ate lentils. But not so fast, folks. Not sure that's spiritual evolution. Spiritual bypassing is a term that was developed by someone named John Wellwood, a therapist. And he talked about it as a defensive maneuver, a person using spiritual concepts to actually avoid facing their real psychological issues. Interestingly, spiritual bypassers are the ones who are quite self-righteous about their entitlement and often bring toxic positivity. But they are not dealing with the actual mess that is their psyche. And I think you know where I'm going with this. When even spiritual growth becomes a competitive and self righteous endeavor, that's not good. And this idea of spiritual bypassing really dovetails with narcissism because there we also see the avoidance of doing the real psychological work, engaging in real vulnerability, being self aware of how they're affecting other people, and using the superficial spiritual posturing as a way of actually denying core emotional issues. Now, what I'm about to say, I may be portraying a caricature, but the spiritual posturing that seems to be more of like a narcissistic trope of late is bothering me. Not because I care that the narcissists are doing it. Frankly, when they are away at their retreat, at least they may not be bothering you. So that's the bright side. But their spiritual pseudo journeys become one more mechanism of abuse. Like they need one more, but it does. Now, I was watching an episode of Billions recently, almost done.
Man, we about to get into it. Y'all seen the memes all over TikTok and Instagram? Yes, I'm a preacher's kid. And yes, because of this. And of course I do this because I'm a preacher's kid. Of course I do that because I'm a preacher's. Listen. Mental illness don't skip preachers. Right? Hey, tonight's topic is about to be deep. I'm praying for you. Preying. I'm praying for you. Were you raised by a spiritual narcissist? Does your belief in God and faithful practice of religion set you apart or make you better than everybody else? Is this an example of spiritual narcissism? What is spiritual narcissism? Will spiritual warfare prayers, essentially an exorcism, change a spiritual narcissist? Can religion change a narcissist? What's the difference between spiritual ego and spiritual narcissism? Are PKs, oh Lord, y'all know, because it's kind of fancy, you know, I'm a PK, right? Okay, cool. You know, people claim that, right? Are most PKs, preachers' kids, raised by spiritual narcissists? Yeesh. Man, it's hard to be in a position of religious authority and not have a little self-righteousness seep in. 1-800-920-15. You got to understand, man, kids are sponges. They're sponges. They're absorbing everything you have and have not dealt with. Yeesh. What role does the bridled tongue play in spiritual narcissism? Ooh. Is the church a safe haven for unresolved? Oh, God, I don't want. Should we do this? 1-800-920. Andy's like, do it. Lord, is the church a safe haven for unresolved perpetuators of spiritual narcissism? If so, how does the church reconcile its righteous image with the unrepentant fruit of its narcissistic inhabitant? Listen, do you listen now? See, we want to see narcissism in the boardroom, don't we? We want to see narcissism in fame, right? In celebrity, but we don't want to see narcissism in God's house, do we? We don't want to see narcissism in God's teacher. We try to act blind that God's teacher might be a narcissist. And what if God's teacher is your parent? Oh, Lord, 1-800-920. 1-800-920-1580. Get in here. I need to. This is a national discussion. We need to talk about it. Andy is biting at the chomp. Get in here, Andy.
Zoe, you know you're going to upset a lot of people with this topic right here.
We got to have these conversations. If you're not going to have them, I mean.
And just the little bit of what you said so far, I feel like are reasons why I walked away from the church. I don't want to be disrespectful to the church or anything. There's 100% value. But I think that narcissism, you know, I didn't recognize that that's what that was, obviously, you know, being in the church or whatnot, but you breaking it down the way it is, it's a lot of that in that space. And because of that, you know, I can only speak for myself. That's why I kind of walked away. But no disrespect to the church, no disrespect to the building, no disrespect to the parishioners. I get it. You know, that's my own personal battle. But
And then, of course, it's always some but all, Andy. Some but
Fair
not
enough.
all.
Yes,
There
sir.
are a lot of great pastors out there. There are a lot of great pastors that are parents,
absolutely.
that are raising healthy, you know, well-balanced kids. But, and this but isn't the kind of but that Tony Robbins talks about when he says, when you say but, you discount what you said before. No. There are some toxic preachers out there, not only in the pulpit, but at home. Huh? Ooh. What connections may be drawn between retroactive rebellion, PKs, and spiritual narcissism? You know how some kids just rebel. They go, you know what? I've had enough of your self-righteous talk, Dad. This may work, Mom. This may work in the pulpit, but you know what? I've seen your dirty laundry at home. Ooh, Lord. 1-800-920-1580. Tonight's going to be rough. Are the trappings of power obtained from spiritual narcissists a worthy incentive for PKs to remain devoted to their abuser? 1-800-920-1580. Do narcissists believe in God, or do they just use him to make us believe we're wrong and they're right? How can you tell? Because you know, Christians like to use the word discern. How can you discern if your pastor is a covert narcissist? And in this case, a covert spiritual narcissist. Has your spiritual practice and progress been put down by the pastor? You doing your best, but your pastor still has criticism and condemnation for the work you put into. 1-800-920-1580. Come on, get in here. I want to know. If you the pastor, what is the incentive to become self-aware if you're actually a spiritual narcissist? 1-800-920-1580. You know this is coming to the house. If you're a pastor and you raising kids and you haven't confronted your internal demons, it don't matter how many scriptures you've memorized. It don't matter how well you preach. If that demon lives in you, that demon will be transferred to that child. Oh, here we go. Do y'all really want to talk about it tonight? Were you raised by a spiritual narcissist? Does your belief in God and faithful practice of religion set you apart or make you better than everybody else? When we come forward, the voice of reason. I'm opening the phone lines. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, Turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation. Connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm just wondering if you can't buy me. Money can't buy love.
No, can't buy love, baby. Never buy your love. Could never buy your love. Nah, could never buy your love.
But I need new friends. I wanted to buy a Benz. Trip around the world. Yo, an oyster full of pearls. Rocks and new clothes. Hot shoes, Kleenex for my nose. A Rolex full of gold. Man, anything can be sold.
You know what I really been thinking about?
Listen to me now. A burning desire. Would you be inside my heart? How much will it cost? Baby, to cool it off. What do you want? Alright, just to pay the price.
Now, several years ago, when I was first starting this channel, I did a video on spiritual narcissists, and I'm going to put that link up here if you want to check it out. Today, I want to go even deeper into this topic. So, what is a spiritual narcissist? These are self-absorbed manipulators who use spiritual and religious texts, tenets,
Wait,
dogma.
pause. What in the world? Self-absorbed manipulators. Listen, if you're a pastor and you're raising kids in that environment, I just want to know, what type of attachment style do those children develop under your parentage? Okay, finish it. Just go ahead.
Who use spiritual and religious texts, tenets, dogma as a way of abusing other people. So they will take something that's true or something that you believe in, and then they will pervert that in order to justify their abuse. They could be the leaders and also the people who are in the group, the followers, the people who are seekers as well. So keep in mind, it's not always just that they're drawn to that position of power. They could be in the group and they could be doing these same exact kinds of dynamics. They will always use love bombing to hook you. Just like the other forms of narcissists and other abusers, their particular brand of love bombing will be wrapped in some kind of spiritual jargon. They're going to say all the right words. Of course, they're going to know all that stuff because they've really mastered that in order to recruit victims. So they'll start grooming you into thinking that you're their soulmate, or you're really special because you have these spiritual gifts or talents, or they'll do the other kind of love bombing, which is where they look like they're really altruistic and
okay, listen. If he can't walk through walls, if he can't turn water into wine, it's just talk. Do you know, because so many people have not been able to articulate how they feel, they become enamored by the charismatic articulation of somebody in the preacher position. There's a whole movement called the charismatic movement, right? And you get sucked in because somebody can talk, but you can't. Just because, listen, I'm going to tell you something now. Just because somebody is articulate doesn't mean they're intelligent. He just speak a good game. He speak a biblical game. He speaks a Quranic game. He speak what? Do you understand? Do you understand me? Within human spirituality, the concept of narcissism casts a shadow that warrants deeper exploration. Particularly intriguing is the intersection of spirituality and narcissism, where the devotees of spiritual beliefs can become entangled with the ego-driven traits of a narcissist. All right? This show tonight, we endeavor to delve into the enigmatic realm of spiritual narcissism, probing its manifestations, implications, and the intricate dynamics at play, especially in the context of preachers' kids raised by individuals harboring these narcissistic traits. First, we got to understand what spiritual narcissism is. At the core of this exploration lies the concept of spiritual narcissism, a phenomenon where an individual's religious or spiritual belief serves as a cloak for self-centeredness and manipulation. Spiritual narcissists often exhibit a grandiose sense of self-importance, using their faith to assert superiority over others and validate their inflated egos. They may cloak their narcissistic tendencies in the guise of religious fervor, using their perceived connection to a higher power as a tool for control and validation. Do y'all really want to get into this tonight? I do. Because to me, if you don't understand who raised you, if they don't understand who they are as the parent raising you, you don't know what kind of wild attachment concoction you got going. And you're carrying that out into adulthood, into adult relationships. Tonight's topic is one of those ones. Classic time. I'm praying for you. Preying. I'm praying for you. Were you raised by a spiritual narcissist? 1-800-920-1580. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Nzinga, Pensacola, Florida. Get in here. Nzinga.
Good evening.
Hey.
Good evening. This is a great topic, Mr. Zone. This is a great topic, one that needs to be discussed. But how are you feeling?
Well, you one of them women who could see things, huh?
Yeah.
Stop looking in my face. Don't look me in the face.
Yes, sir.
Don't look me directly in the eyes. Don't do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
I wanted to talk about the people that are around the pastor. That kind of made me leave the church. I think sometimes the pastor puts his trust into narcissists as well. And because they're so close to the pastor, they can run around and be disrespectful to people sometimes without impunity, without impunity rather. And that was my story. It was like the armor bearer to the first lady. They were horrible. And sometimes I think the pastor's so shielded or far removed from his congregation or from his flock that he sometimes doesn't see what's going on either. And that's what happened to me. It was, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're not. No. You just hitting on something. The narcissist always has something called flying monkeys around them. That's the term they use.
Oh.
Flying monkeys that float around to help facilitate whatever the narcissist needs. You hold tight, Nzinga. Don't you go nowhere. When we come forward, girl, listen, if you ain't on fire right now, you will be. You will be.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott unveiled a $4.1 billion budget for fiscal year 2025, with $3.4 billion for operating expenses and $654 million for capital investments. The budget focuses on education, violence prevention, and addressing vacant properties while closing a budget gap by cutting vacant city positions. Mayor Scott, who is Black, is monitoring the Key Bridge collapse's potential impact on the city's finances. Subway crime in New York City is down. There was a big spike in subway crime in January, but it went down in February, and now Mayor Eric Adams, who is Black, says there's a 24% drop in subway crime for March. The state and city made a number of moves to try and address subway safety over the last couple of months, including adding law enforcement personnel in the system. The NYPD just deployed 800 additional officers to go after fare beaters, who officials say are often the ones committing subway crimes. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Are you a mental health, social worker, child welfare professional? Consider a career as a certified wellness coach where you can make an impact working with children and youth. Learn more at cawellnesscoach.org. Supported by the California Department of Healthcare Access and Information.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Follow the leader.
Following the leader.
Oh my God. Follow the leader. 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 Follow the leader.
Hey LA, be an eco-friendly hero. Join LADWP's Power Savers program and use your smart thermostat to help ease strain on the electric grid during peak electric demand. You'll save electricity while you lower your bill. Plus, as a power saver, you can get up to $185 in prepaid gift cards. Don't have a smart thermostat? No problem. Shop and sign up at ladwp.com/Power Savers program. That's ladwp.com/Power Savers program. To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelenos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
If your Medi-Cal is ending, Cover California is here to help. Cover California is a service from the state that helps you get affordable health insurance. In many cases, at no cost to you, just like with Medi-Cal. We have quality health plans and will help you every step of the way to get the one that works for you and your family. So, if you're no longer eligible for Medi-Cal, check out Cover California. We'll keep you covered. Learn more at coveredca.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that for Bree's car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Bree's car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy for Breeze. La 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 la.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
talk about narcissists and religion. This is not religion specific. It can be any religion, from major world religions to whatever religion they've made up. This is a question that's come to us from several of our YouTube subscribers, several people on Instagram, and I've gotten several emails about this. They will say, it is astonishing to us that a narcissist will hide behind religion. Let me tell you this, it happens all the time. And what's interesting is one of the professions that has the highest rates of narcissism is the clergy. It's a very powerful position when you think of it. And while we'd like to think that anyone who's devoted themselves to spirituality and faith is full of empathy, unfortunately, the power part is what throws that off. Obviously, there are amazing, devoted people who have devoted their lives and their careers and their calling to their religion. Bravo. And this isn't just about clergy. This is about how do they use religion. So let's think about it. In some ways, religion's a battle you can't win. It's really hard to fight the battle of, well, that's what God said. Like, okay, I guess, checkmate. Not much I can say past that. But here's what narcissists often do. And this is what, to me, is so horrifying. They use religion as one more tool to rationalize their narcissistic behavior. Either they'll go real simple with it, well, that's what God says, or they will do things for whatever religious community they're in, a church, a temple, a mosque, whatever they call their particular religious community. And they will really be the big man around church, temple, mosque, whatever their religious community is. They'll be that, or big woman. They'll be that person, highly devoted to the church, an elder, a deacon, a senior member of the whatever that religious community is. They'll be involved in the choir. They'll be involved in whatever board of directors or what there may be with a religious community. And that's one way they can all but guarantee that they trick everyone. But he's such a holy man. He's so involved in his church. Or she's such an amazing woman. She never misses a Sunday at church. The hypocrisy is galling. And what's angering and devastating to me is people who actually do, in a meaningful way, take their faith seriously. So they actually listen, maybe with a heavier ear, to other people from their faith-based community. And that's where a narcissist is often able to take advantage. Like, well, they're so devoted to the church, so how can they be a bad person? They must be great. I have seen narcissists use religion to make excuses for everything from infidelity to stealing money to lying to twisting the truth to gaslighting. You name it, religion ends up becoming the basis of that. It's a tricky problem in our modern age because in many ways our hands get tied to even comfortably talk about it. People are like, well, I really, I don't feel comfortable calling someone out on this. This is their faith, and they try to be.
Hey, don't be mad. That's Dr. Romney. Listen, if that's happening at the church, if those people have kids, how are those kids modeling that type of behavior at home? Spiritual narcissism. Clearly, it's a real thing. Unveiling the mask. Behaviors of a spiritual narcissist. Behaviors that characterize a spiritual narcissist may include a sense of entitlement, right, with religious communities, manipulation of spiritual teachings for personal gain, and a constant need for admiration and validation of their piety. We just saw a brother go down in New York. Y'all remember that preacher that was dripped in Louis Vuitton? That went after that lady that talked crazy to him? We just saw this, right? If he got kids in that household, what type of PKs are being raised by him? And see, that's, again, they say narcissism is on a spectrum, right? That is the cutting edge information. Narcissism is on a spectrum. Okay. So maybe he's on the far end, the, equivalent to the grandiose, equivalent to the malignant. But what about the covert spiritual narcissist? The covert spiritual narcissist can mimic empathy, can mimic kindness, can mimic piety. And what type of children are being raised under that household? That was his name, LeVar Miller Whitehead. Lamar Miller Whitehead. That guy just went to prison or was convicted of some things. See, you think because your mother or father is a pastor, right, that you might be better. That's just simply not how it works. And I'm not saying all of them think that way. Call in if you're a PK. I want to hear your unique story, good, bad, or indifferent. Let's get Nzinga back in here. Nzinga, please finish your thought. This is good.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. It's interesting when you talk about the preacher's kids and, you may look at them and they come in dressed nice. A lot of times they're leading in the choir or, they're leading praise and worship or they're doing the praise dancing. And you look at that and one might become envious or, because you think that everything in their life is good. But meanwhile, they have someone at home who's weaponizing religion, who's being narcissistic, at every turn. And they're really under thumb and they're really miserable. So I thought that was very interesting.
They're miserable? Why you say miserable? Keep going.
Because it's all a front. It's a fraud. You said that a pastor has their flying monkeys, or in my head, I'm thinking they're henchmen, running around, and the pastor or the clergy, first lady and pastor, they're almost absolved because it's like they have other people doing their dirty work, so they keep their hands clean, and so they continue to be, what was the word, pedestalized? What's the show that you
pedestalized. We made up a word. Put on a pedestal, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah. So, they can continue to be on the pedestal because, the other people are in the the auxiliary boards and, the deacons, they're doing the dirty work, unfortunately, until it all comes crashing down and then they want to tell everything. But, yeah. So that's pretty much all I have to say, Mr. Joe.
You know what, Nzinga? I appreciate you so much. Can we sing your name together? Nzinga. Yeah, there it is. All you got to do is call me if you want to bring your city in the building. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, I'm going to Arizona and I'm going to St. Louis, Missouri. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Hey LA, be an eco-friendly hero. Join LADWP's Power Savers program and use your smart thermostat to help ease strain on the electric grid during peak electric demand. You'll save electricity while you lower your bill. Plus, as a power saver, you can get up to $185 in prepaid gift cards. Don't have a smart thermostat? No problem. Shop and sign up at at ladwp.com/powersavers program. That's ladwp.com/powersavers program. To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelenos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency on low Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Want something done? Gotta do it yourself. Yeah, I think this is gonna be another one of those funky ones. Hot soul, dance. If I was you and you were me, you wanna be winning. If you want something better, you gotta wanna give your all. 'Cause I believe so much in we, and no, we're not kidding. If you feel the same as me, you gotta wanna take the ball. Now find out that nothing is given. Don't know where the cards may fall. All I know is that we gotta get it. We've gotta make it on our own. Well, I guess we're gonna have to take control. If it's up to us, we've got to take it home. Now can't you see that all we need to be a go-getter? Gotta make it on yourself.
Namaste everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to talk about the spiritual narcissist. So a lot of people who call themselves spiritual are actually just decorating their egos with the term spiritual. They can be spiritual gurus, masters, teachers, your friends. The people who are narcissistic are very good at deceiving others in keeping up a certain appearance, and that's how they can use the spiritual appearances to deceive people. Which brings me to the first thing that I want to talk about today, that appearances can be deceiving. A lot of times we put people on pedestal because we see their appearance. Their appearance is very spiritual. It is very appealing spiritually. And maybe you have a desire that you want a spiritual community. You are seeking some spiritual friends in your life. And that's how you get caught up in their appearance. That's how they deceive you. It's all a show. There is nothing real behind it. They are just playing the same game of the ego, trying to be superior than others, trying to be the authority, gaining power, control. But instead of seeking it in the material world, now they are doing it with spiritual community. So there are a lot of people who are like that, and you should be aware and protective from that kind of energy. Such people never reveal their true self because they're always playing the appearance game. You never know who they really are, and their smile, the way they present themselves.
This is what I want to know. This is what I want to know. Does your mask pay tithes? The mask you wear. Because ain't no mask like a church mask. Does it pay tithes? Does your mask respect God the Father? I want to know. See, we can dress the part of church or the mosque, right? Right? We could dress the part. We can put on the traditional garbs and robes, the temple, the menzel-arab. We can do all that. Right? But let me tell you something about spirituality and awakening. Because listen, spirituality hurt. There's no room for toxic positivity in spirituality. Spiritual awakening hurts. The spiritual awakening process is complex, multi-layered, and different for everybody. But you're going to feel some unhappiness, some despondency. Don't you know when you go through the dark night of the soul, that is a spiritual movement ripping you from your known? What is your known? What you modeled in childhood? Part of spiritual awakening, the sense of feeling lost, shifting perspectives, seeking answers and meaning, crying, in pain, psychosomatic pain. Right? But eventually you will find answers. You will be experiencing breakthroughs, but breakthroughs ain't comfortable. Breakthroughs don't have a bowl of Lucky Charms at the end of the rainbow. Don't you know there's some disillusionment that's a part of spiritual awakening? Soul work, facing yourself. There's a special scene in Star Wars where Luke Skywalker is on the planet called Dagobah. And he's being trained by Master Yoda. And Yoda tells him to go into this cave. Now, this whole cave is a metaphor that comes from, I forgot the Greek philosopher. I think it's Plato's cave or somebody's cave. But it's a metaphor for this cave, right? He tells Luke Skywalker, go into the cave. Now, some Christian folk might say this devil worship because he mentioned in Star Wars. But anyway, tells him to go into the cave. Luke turns to Yoda and says, or he's about to grab his lightsaber. He said, you will not need that. Don't take anything with you. You don't need that. And he says, take what you have. Take what you have. Socrates, that's who it was. Socrates, the cave, right. He says, take what you have. What he has is inside of him. When he goes into the cave, he sees his father, Darth Vader. He engages his father, Darth Vader, in a lightsaber battle. He cuts off his father's head. The mask blows up, and inside of Darth Vader's head is his own face. Man, spiritual awakening hurts. It's not easy. Do you understand? Many of us, let me just get to my callers because I'll keep going. I'm sorry. I just want y'all to know I can get you to where you need to go. Nobody can get you to where you need to go. Somebody can point, but you got to put your feet in front of each other, and you got to take yourself there. Come on, 1-800-920-1580. Here we go. Minister Mark from Phoenix, Arizona, get in here.
I'm in here, though, and I'm telling you, you are the spot today. And we're going to talk about that guy, Mr. K. Mr. K was speaking about when he was waking up. You know, he wrote that letter telling all the theosophists that he was no longer going to support the Order of the Star.
Oh, that's right. You talking about Krishnamurti when he said, let me dissolve this whole thing. Come on,
Right.
let's go.
I mean, this was supposed to be the moment for this unveiling, and it was, but in another sense. But what he also said after that was, you know, you have to be careful in what you say doesn't get you killed. And I think one of the last things that I ran into when his material started disappearing on the internet is that he closed with a group of monks in India, and he said, listen, I'm black. And they got this puzzled look on their face. Not in the way that you think. In the complete sense of the word.
Go ahead, Mark. We listening.
The source.
Yes.
This is the source. And that is, as you were talking about, getting to that spot, tearing the ego, taking all the layers off, and exposing what has been, and coming to find, it's me again.
Hey, Minister Mark, stay with us. Stay with us. Phoenix, Arizona, don't leave. When we come forward, we going back to Arizona to get Minister Mark's final thought. Then we going to St. Louis, Missouri.
You gotta learn to take control, yeah. Now I found out that nothing's given. Don't know where the cards may fall. All I know is that we've gotta get it. We've gotta make it all. Well, I guess we're gonna have to take control.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott unveiled a $4.1 billion